Today we're going to look at a new radio by XHDATA. This one's called the D608WB. It's a wideband AM/FM radio. It features an NOAA all hazards weather radio. Can be charged up from solar panels, plug it into USB. It even has a hand crank dynamo. And it will charge your cell phone, as well as connect to your cell phone so you can play your music from your phone, answer your phone calls through this built-in speaker and microphone, and it'll play your music files from an SD card. Let's check it out. Today I think we're going to look at this little radio by XHDATA. It's a high sensitivity global band radio. It also has the NOAA weather radio receiver in it. This is a model D608WB. And this is not going to be long. This is going to be a relatively short video, I think, but it'll warn you of typhoons, floods, thunderstorms, earthquake, and fire, because these have a signal that is sent out by NOAA that alerts the radio if it's on standby. It also supports micro SD, MP3 playback. You can charge your phone with it. It's got a charger built in, MP3 player, radio. Of course, got hand generator, so you can crank it up, so if there's no power, you can recharge it and charge your phone up. It has a solar panel on it, built-in rechargeable battery, LED light, a flashlight, SOS alarm. Again, for if you're in an emergency, it'll set off like a siren, I'm sure. Let's open the radio up and just take a look at it. I haven't looked at this one yet. And it is yellow in color. Comes with a USB-C charging cable. And on the side here, you'll notice it has the USB-C input. It also has a 5-volt output. This is for charging your phone. You can put your SD card in there so you can have music on the go. And it says here, please, before use, please remove. This is going to be to keep the battery disconnected. Look at what it uses for a battery. I like this already. No proprietary battery on this one. It's an 18650. Wow, that is good, because a lot of these radios in the past have used a little proprietary battery. But 18650, you can have some of these on hand in stock, so if the battery runs down, you just have to pop another one in. Readily available 18650. Like that feature already. The unit should have a charged battery, because it was shipped with the battery disconnected. Now, it's not fully charged, but it's got enough of a charge in there that we can certainly use it. Let's go over some of the features on it. It has a solar panel on top, which I'm assuming will flip up, which it does, and that also doubles as a light. So if we turn on, I haven't read the manual yet, so let's just figure this out without reading the manual, but I'm sure I'll probably need to. Has a flashlight, has a light, and this one here is, I guess, for tuning. It's an encoder switch, and it turns on a light behind the display. You can see it there glowing yellow, so you can see what you're doing in the dark. Okay, what do we got on here? We've got SOS torch. If I press and hold that button, flashing red light. If I just press it quickly, it becomes just a regular LED flashlight in 3 brightnesses. So keep clicking it, low, medium, and high. So you've got a flashlight that you can use in the dark to navigate. That's the SOS button. This one here will turn on the table lamp, as they call it, in 3 brightnesses. So that way, if you're camping or you need it to see something, you can throw some light down on the table and even light up the room with it. I don't know how far this tilts back. It tilts back like that. So you can use this as a room light or table lamp. So that's that lamp. On the back side here, there's a crank. You can open this up and you can spin this around, and this will generate power. And it tells you when it's charging. If you start turning it, it'll light up, indicating that you are charging the battery. Now, you probably would have to crank this for a while, but in theory, if your battery was flat, you could charge up the battery just like that. Which is always nice, because if you're in a disaster or you don't have sun to charge the battery with the solar panel, and you need to charge it quickly, or you need to charge your phone, for example, you can crank it. The solar panel on top is going to have limited capabilities, but in the bright sun, if you were to set this outside, I'm sure it would probably charge the battery in several hours. Let's take a look first of all at the frequency range. So FM, it will cover 64 to 108, 76 to 108, or 87 to 108, or 87.5 to 108, depending on which band you've selected. If you select the expanded frequency range for FM, it automatically switches to 9 kilohertz on the medium wave band, 522 to 1620, or 520 to 1710 kilohertz, and 10K step if you've selected the 87 to 108 frequency band. Shortwave will be 1711 to 29999 kilohertz. It does have a stereo FM radio if you plug in headphones, incidentally. Same with MP3 playback. If you plug in headphones, it has stereo sound. It also has Bluetooth, so you can connect your phone and play your music from your phone through here. But the whole idea with the memory card is you can store some music on a memory card, plug it in, and then you're not wasting power on your phone just to play it back through a speaker. Take headphones, 16 to 32 ohms, and it has a 40 millimeter speaker, 4 ohm, 5 watt speaker. Supports up to 32 gigs for the memory card. It supports MP3, WMA, wave, and FLAC. Bluetooth distance is 10 meters, and yes, you can receive your phone calls through here as well. To charge your phone, you can use the charging cable here. If I plug my phone in to the DC output, my phone should turn on. Probably have to turn on the power on this to do it, but if I plug my phone in, oh, I don't even have to turn it on. Look at that. It says 25 minutes to fully charged on my phone. I don't know if you saw that or not, but there we go. 25 minutes to fully charged. I'm at 88%. So you just plug it in, and it automatically turns on, and it's telling you that it's discharging here. Now, if I were to start cranking the generator on this, then I would be hand cranking my charging of my cell phone. Turn the generator. Now I'm charging from the generator to my phone. Well, generating power into here, and then it's going through the boost converter and charging my phone. Don't use the radio when you're charging your phone, because the boost converter will cause interference to the radio. I think that goes without saying. Especially for AM or shortwave reception, that the boost converter will certainly cause interference. But you can crank and charge your phone up that way. Unplug the phone, and you can also, of course, charge the battery up, the internal battery. If I plug this into here and then plug this into my charger, I can charge the internal battery up from mains. So you've got the option of crank charging, solar charging, or mains charging. Or you can take the battery out and just pop it into your standard 18650 charger and charge the battery up quickly. To set the clock on here, if it's turned off, we press and hold the playback key, and that will set the clock into the time setting mode. So it looks like it's 24 hours. It might be changeable, but 13:36 is the time, so I just tap the key. Makes it easy to set the time. There we go. Now we're set. Turn on the power. Press and just tap the power key. And we are now at 87 megahertz where we start. Pick up my test transmitter. It even gives me the level, signal to noise, and the RSSI level on the display. Built-in antenna.
Issues that this government was facing as it began doing its calculations.
To change the FM band, whether you're using the Japanese or the European band or North American band, in the shutdown state you press and hold the band key and it will tell you 87 to 108, press and hold, 87.5 to 108, 64 to 108, and 76 to 108. Here our band is 87.5, so I will set it to 87.5 to 108. Okay, so that now sets the frequency band. Turn the radio on. And it now is basically 108, 88 to 108. Well, this will also select the AM bandwidth. So if I click the button for AM, oh, this is 9 kilohertz. Why? Huh. Okay. So I guess I do have to change to 87.5. Then I can't get 87.5. Here we go. 87.5 to 108. Now this should select 10 kilohertz. Oh, what the heck? Now it's... It goes down to single kilohertz once you get to a station. So when you're on the station, it lets you go like 1 or 2 at a time. And then it goes to 9 kilohertz again.
Memorial, a proud division of Service Corporation International Canada.
Tap the band button again, it goes to shortwave. Press the mode button to switch to Bluetooth or to the card. And it'll just start playing automatically. Volume buttons here. Actually, it's not bad sound. It's got a port in the back, that's why. But the sound is not bad for a small radio. I'm quite impressed. This is Music Bakery royalty-free content, so I can play this. Reset button right there. You push with a pin if something catastrophically goes wrong and it has to be factory reset. There's the reset. So you can have light and have the music playing or radio playing at the same time. And to stop it, just tap the pause key. To pair this to my phone, I would press the mode key.
Bluetooth mode.
And I open up Bluetooth settings. Yeah, D608 shows up right there. Tap on there and it will pair to my phone. Ask me if I want to pair it. Okay, now it's paired.
Connected.
So now it's connected to my phone, so anything that I play on the phone, if I play a video, for example, from YouTube, doing the video for the Little Sharp reel-to-reel machine, I was thinking about where am I going to find a 3-inch reel? Now, I think I do have one, and I believe it's with that rim drive that I was given years ago. But that unit's in storage. I don't know exactly where it is. It's in a box somewhere, but I'm pretty sure it's with it. But it might not be. It might be lost. And I started thinking, is there something else that I can use to replace it? And I came up with an idea. I was thinking, I wonder if there's something else I can use. So we can play our music or media files through the speaker on here, which typically is going to sound a lot better than the little speaker on a phone itself. And of course, if you want to plug in wired headphones, you could plug wired headphones into here. You can plug your wired headphones in there and get that wired headphone experience that some people just love, because the new phones, of course, don't have headphone plugs. So you could pair it to one of these and plug in your headphones if you really had to have the big cans on. So that's that, and I'm assuming that I can probably send and receive phone calls on here. So I'm going to phone myself, and we'll see what happens.
1604.
Hello? Hello. So, I can hear myself on the phone, and it becomes a Bluetooth speaker. And as you heard, I shut it off there, but while my phone was ringing, the phone number was being read out by the radio. So that was kind of cool. Okay, so I don't know if you heard me echoing there or not, but when you receive a phone call, your phone will ring as normal, and the radio will actually read out the phone number of the person that's calling you. When you answer it, you can probably answer it from here too. I didn't try. So let's try that one more time. Let me try phoning again. This time I'm going to answer it from here.
160449.
And there you go. I can answer it by just pressing a button on the speaker itself. And I guess if I push this button, it'll hang up. There. Did it hang up? Yeah, it hung up. So answer and disconnect with one button. So you got it paired to your phone. You got your phone in your pocket. You got this sitting on your desk or wherever on your table. If you're camping, got this sitting on your table. Someone calls you, it rings on the phone. You can answer it there, and then everyone else at the campsite can hear your conversation. Ha! To force disconnect the Bluetooth, just press and hold a long hold with the play button. That'll disconnect your Bluetooth. And to reconnect it, just press and hold. That way you can connect and disconnect to your device. Of course, you could go to your device and just tell it to forget the device if you don't want to connect again. Alright, just figured out if we're in the shortwave mode, if you tap the forward key here, it now lets you switch by an entire band. So you can quickly get to the band you want. So try 15.
I'll point out those are just memory channels.
15 megahertz.
It has 100 for each of the bands.
Come in this time of day for WWV.
And no, I don't expect to receive anything on the shortwave band this time of day.
Nope. Not today anyway, not with this little antenna.
To set the memory channels, dial your frequency in, hit the memory button. Actually, I'm in the scan mode now. Set your frequency, press memory, select your memory channel, and press memory again, and that will save that channel into memory, as you'll see.
Okay. So that's how you write your channels. If you want to write a new frequency in, you do that. You go to the frequency mode, select your frequency. For example, press your memory key, select which memory you want to put it into, say number 1, and then press it again. And now when I go into the memory mode, you can see that I've just stored it. I stored that one into channel 1.
All of a sudden,
that's how you set the memories. So I've set my presets for my AM and my FM. You've got multiple presets for each one. So I set my presets in of the stations I can receive. That's the Seattle station, that one. I'm doing too bad for Seattle.
Screening for students from kindergarten to...
Funds in estate planning?
Absolutely.
All right.
Those are basically the only AM stations we've got around here that are not in some other language other than English. Band button selects again shortwave and then back to the weather band. And again, you can select your weather frequencies, whatever is broadcast in your area. 162.4. Here it's 162.55 that's the local weather channel here.
This is Weather Radio Canada, station CGZ 555, broadcasting from Burnaby on a frequency of 162.550 megahertz. This service is operated by Environment and Climate Change Canada. Comments should be directed to 1-877...
Press and hold the alert key, and it'll go into Weather Radio Alert. Then the radio will remain muted, and it will just listen for the emergency signal that is sent out by NOAA on NOAA participating stations. I believe Weather Radio Canada does do the NOAA alerts as well. If there was a bad weather forecast, for example, storms and so forth, or high winds, it'll send out an alert which will set off the alarm on here to alert you that something's going on, and then you can listen to the radio. So you can leave the radio turned on and muted, and it'll just sit there and wait for that signal if that signal were to ever come down. Also, from what I understand from reading the instructions, when it's in the scan mode, it will search all the frequencies. It'll go through all of the weather channels looking for the NOAA broadcasts. So there's 7 channels, right? You can manually select them and then select the band, and then it says automatically scan the weather band NOAA radio channels. When any NOAA channel issues a disaster warning, the machine will immediately sound an SOS sound, and the light synchronized to remind the user that the NOAA disaster. So if there was a signal coming out, it'll automatically go to get your attention that there is a weather broadcast, and you can select that from any mode. When the power is off, if you long press the memory or the mode key, you can now set the time that you wish the alarm to be set. So it has a alarm clock. If I set this to say 14:24, tap it, and then it'll tell it how long I want it to stay on for. Yeah, up to 60 minutes. It'll turn the radio on for up to 60 minutes. Default is 30 minutes. And then if I just tap the key here, short key on or off, it is now on, and it should return to where I had it last. So I'll turn it off, and at 14:24 the radio should turn on. So we'll just wait. There you go, the radio just turned on at whatever volume it was left at the last time it was turned on. To shut it off, just press the power key twice. That'll shut it off. And to cancel the alarm, here, tap the mode key to toggle on and off the alarm state on here. As usual, we're going to pull this one apart, and we're going to take a look at the build of the unit. So we've got some small Phillips screws. Just the rubber feet were holding it together. Okay, as I thought, there is a couple little boards in here. There's one on the volume control, which does not have to come off. It's just an encoder switch. Here's our radio board down here with our flashlight and our solar panel plugged in. Solar panel's right here. Plugs into the board here. The flashlight plugs in. Here's our little generator over here on this side. And our AM bar antenna for receiving AM, and our FM antenna and shortwave antenna plugged in or hardwired over here. Little sealed speaker, that's why the bass is good, because it's got a little sealed driver. And just one of those troublesome electrolytic capacitors on here. I'm sure it would be good for the next 20 or 30 years though. And here's the circuit board with the USB-C for charging, USB-A for charging your phone, headphone jack, and the TF card slot or micro SD, depending on what you prefer to call it. Here's our little generator over here. When we crank the handle, you'll see that it turns gears, which spins this little generator. So this is what generates power, and it's connected down through, the battery's connected here. This is the battery plug, and it's this wire here coming up. That's the wires for charging. Looks like there's 3 wires, so it's probably got 3 coils arranged in like a 3-phase type of setup with 3 coils interconnected like in a delta. So basically 1 coil between wire 1 and 2, 1 coil between wire 2 and 3, and 1 coil between wire 3 and 1. 3-phase, like a delta generator. So when you spin this, there'll be 3 coils of wire behind this magnet, and when you turn that, you're generating voltage. You got a gearing system here, which every time you turn the let's mark this and see what the ratio is, because you know, people, inquiring minds like to know that. So we'll just put a mark on here, and we'll count every time this goes around as I make 1 revolution. Okay, so
1, 2, 3.
25. So 25 to 1. For every turn of the crank, you get 25 revolutions of the generator. And something like this, you would just crank it at a normal rate when you're cranking it up, something like that. That'll put a bit of a charge in the battery. And if you crank it long enough, you could probably fully recharge the battery, but that will put enough of a charge in the battery so that the radio will work, and also so that you can charge your cell phone during an extended power failure. And of course, the fact that it utilizes your standard 18650 cells, you can have a couple of these spare as well. So that's pretty much the inside of the radio. I just wanted to show the inside just so you can see what it looks like. I'm not going to pull the circuit board out. This is obviously a DSP type of radio receiver, so there's not really anything to see. There's no IF coils or anything because it's a digital signal processor. Hand strap is actually looped in around one of the mounts here, so this is not going to pull out easily. It's a permanent strap. You don't have to worry about losing your radio. Some of the cheap ones just have that little plastic tab that the hand strap goes around, but as you can see on here, it's actually looped right around the mount for holding the unit together. So you're not going to lose your radio if you've got it on your hand strap, dangling from a hand strap. It's not going to fall off. Alright, I think that's about it. I'm going to throw it back together now. We've seen everything that there is to see on this unit. I'd say it's got a bit of weight to it. It's actually a fairly solid feeling little radio, and one that probably everybody should have something like this, especially if you're in an area that is prone to bad weather and storms. That feature alone can save your life if there was a tornado or a typhoon or hurricane coming, or even bad storms. You could certainly be alerted to any potential risk for damage or loss of life by bad storms from NOAA.
NOAA, of course, is the National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration.
Just before finishing up, let's put the battery back in and see whether it's maintained the radio station. So the clock has to be reset. Did it hold the radio stations, or did they get wiped? Yes, it did. The memory for the radio stations that I set are still there. I think I set 17 of them, yeah. So it held the radio stations. Go to the AM band, 650, 690, 730, 980, 1000, 1130 were the only stations, and 1200. Those are the only stations I programmed in. Okay, I think I'm going to end this one now. We're all done. Thanks for watching. Actually, you know what I'm going to do? And I will post this in the comments because I'm not going to wait for this. I'm going to take this unit, and right now it's got a half a battery. I'm going to go sit it outside in the sun because it's sunny today, and we'll see how it charges up under solar panel. Anyway, I'm going to end the video now because, as I say, we've showed you all the features of it. I'll put a link in the description and say thanks for watching.